possible.
This is
It's very
fun.
important. Every day I make my fresh pasta.
Chi mangia bene,
Mangia
mangia
italiano.
italiano. Please come and visit us.
The program presented are submitted by members of our community and are a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM. The views expressed do not necessarily reflect those of KNLY 91.1 FM and its affiliates.
Real. Good morning. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still hearing the music, so I want to make sure. Oh, okay. Good morning. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. It is Friday, and I know it's been a while. You're going to have to bear with me. This is my first time Skyping in. I'm kind of sitting here in my little office area. It's kind of really nice to be actually at home in your office. It's kind of good to be socially distanced, to be honest, because you're actually in a great situation here. Actually, no, we'll get into that in a minute. Obviously, I've got some guests on this morning. I've got the wonderful, so we got to start with the lady first. We've got the Miss Jen Champion herself with Date Shake in the studio this morning. Good morning, Jen.
Good morning.
You look very nice, I have to say.
Well, thank you.
But always. I mean, you're looking quarantined very well this morning, if I'm saying it right. Yeah.
Well,
And
I
then
had a Zoom video, so.
Oh, okay. And then we also have the wonderful Jason Phelps in the studio this morning as well.
Yeah.
You look wonderful too.
Well, thank you. It's the first time anybody's seen or heard from me in a month.
Yeah.
So.
I figured we'd get you back on. I mean, really. And me either. I haven't been on. So, guys, I'm trying to figure this out. You'll have to bear with me. This is Skyped. We're Skyped in, so we're trying it out for the first time. The reason I wanted to, obviously, I've been doing the show for a while. But the reason I wanted to come back on the scene is, obviously, I've been watching what's going on. We all have, and I'm hoping everyone's doing well. Their families and staying safe and praying. I'm praying, obviously, you'll know that, for the world, for the country, for everyone, every day. But I wanted to come on because I've been watching Facebook, social media, and I've been watching the news, and I've been hearing about all of these different scenarios where people are going crazy. They're like looking at this and saying, I can't function at home. The kids are here. I'm having a homeschool, and my mind is sitting here thinking, wow, I'm completely doing the opposite. I am sitting here looking at this and saying, this is an opportunity for me now to ground myself and to get myself in order, to take care of things, to spend time with the personal people that I love, and to get back to the basic, organize myself. And so I wanted to have a show to kind of open it back up and say, hey, and I also wanted, obviously Jen and Jason to tell their story. And let's spin this. Let's spin this as a community, as a world, and as a country to kind of pull together and see how we can. There's got to be a reason this is happening, right? Other than the tragedy. And I want to bring it back to that. And so that we can build upon this, and going forward every Friday, let's have you as listeners and viewers send your questions in and comments and concerns and success stories so that we can build our country back and make this more positive. I mean, would y'all agree?
Absolutely.
Y'all know I'm going to be fired up. Everybody out there knows I'm going to be pumped up. So get ready for it. But anyway, Jen, Jason, kind of briefly tell everyone a little bit about, what you've been going through a little bit. Either one of you go first. Yeah.
Go ahead, Jason.
Okay. Well, so I went into quarantine 4 weeks ago now. So my wife and I have been here in our house. This is the middle of our 4th week now. So we've been here mainly because of her autoimmune disorder she has. We knew when we started hearing about the disease that it was going to be something that could affect her in a very significant way. She's in that small 1% to 2% where if she is to catch the virus, there's a good chance that she won't be able to recover from it. So because of that, and she would either have to stay by herself or I would have to just quarantine with her. So we made that decision. And so we've been pretty much locked away at home and, you know, kind of entertaining each other. The great thing is I can report after 4 weeks, we're just as happy as we were the first day.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I think there's a lot to be said for that. You know, we honestly don't feel any different today than we did when we started doing this. And I guess the last time that I was actually out of the house for any significant amount of the time was when we did the show with Jen from Vagabond Travel. That was my last day out. So it's been a while. And,
and when you say your last day out, Jason, let's be specific. No grocery store runs, no, just outside in your yard. Talk to us a little bit about what your experience is like.
Yeah. So we'll go outside to walk the dog. We'll go outside to go on a bike ride, go for walks, go to the park before that kind of closed down. Not really doing that anymore. But, you know, going to the soccer fields and whatever else, just staying busy. But as far as going to where there are people, no. I think one time I had to run to Ace Hardware and actually run in. I have a mask though, and I ran in and I ran out. I got exactly what I needed because I'm trying to take this time while I'm here at the house to knock out every single project I ever wanted to do.
Oh, wow.
And use my time, you know, productively. And so I'm really working through all those things. And, you know, the things like, I don't know if you can see the picture wall behind me. This was one of my
you put that up?
I did that.
Wow.
And, you know, it's just one of those things where, we wanted to do it and we just hadn't really taken the time to. So we just kind of hold each other accountable and say, hey, weren't you going to do this? Oh, yeah. Well, why don't we do that here? And, you know, just kind of make a list. And we've gone through them and really been very productive. And
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So Jen, welcome back to the studio, or shall I say back on. And obviously it's got to be difficult for singles out there. You know, I think about everyone was out socializing all in Houston, going to bars, restaurants, dinners, dates, and all this. And then all of a sudden they're told you can't do that. So talk to us a little bit about how this has impacted and the singles and some tips on that.
Absolutely. So I have talked to my clients, you know, all the time since this all started. And it's interesting to me because everyone has their own story, right? And it seems to be very personal, very different for everyone. You have people living alone, like just by themselves, and that's a challenge for some. You have others that do have kids that are in the house and they're juggling that with homeschool now. So, you know, it's interesting because everybody has their own story. Great to hear, Jason, you say that you and your wife are doing so well together. I love to hear that. Because if you have someone, I think it is super important, like you said, Cache, to take this time to embrace that time together. And Jason, you mentioned, you know, being productive, doing things that you don't normally have time to do.
That's right.
And with the singles, I mean, it's the same thing, you know, whether you're alone by yourself or you have someone in the home with you, it's taking that opportunity to be productive and to better yourself, right? And, you know, there's this cool thing called virtual dating. You've probably heard it, seen it. So, you know, a lot of the singles are doing coffee in the morning or even like dinner, virtual dinner dates. And, you know, for a lot, it's been a lot of fun. And then there's some that haven't quite wrapped their mind around that yet, and they're getting there. But, you know, it doesn't have to be a love interest. It could be an old friend. It could be a cousin that you haven't talked to in years, right? Just to keep those connections and relationships alive.
Well, I just feel cool even looking at y'all talking on this now. There was an immediate, like, you know, excitement. Oh my God, there they are. Yeah. So that stimulation, to some degree, of just looking at each other and connecting, staying connected is great, to your point.
Exactly. And Zoom, I mean, I've been doing my Zoom videos. Sorry, I'm in my workout.
Oh, yeah, well, you look fabulous, obviously.
I don't think it's hurting anybody's feelings.
Next class, I want to see the two of you on the other end of the camera. But,
of course. Yes, of course, of course.
But any interaction, Zoom videos, you know, whatever, just having some kind of connection with people, I think is huge.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's funny. I was one of the things also that drove this show today was, I was watching, I think, the police chief of Houston, talk about how crime rate has gone down, but domestic violence has gone up. And I sat there and when I heard that, I thought, are you kidding me? We're going through a crisis right now. And I don't care if you don't like the person in front of you. I don't care if you have issues with the person sitting next to you. This is the time to utilize and say, where in my life, why, every time you're put in a position to be still, the first and foremost thing you need to do is, whether you're religious or you're not religious, this is the time to ask yourself, should I understand God? Should I get closer? What do you have to lose? You have everything to gain, but nothing to lose. So first and foremost, spiritually, find yourself every morning, get up, pray, talk to your family members, pray with them, whether it's, if you're alone, hey, God's right there listening. Talk, ask these questions, get back to the basics, keep a schedule. I get up, I pray, I work out, I do my Pure Bars, I go for my run. Yes, I'm socially distanced. But the point is, I'm reading a book. It's called Make Elephants Fly. I've started my next business. I mean, there is so much to be done that there is not time for fighting. There's not time for anger. This is the time to understand, why are you been given this quiet time? Get your stuff in order. That's the way you should look at it. We complain. You hear all the time people talk about, kids are on their devices. I can't connect to my children. My husband's gone all the time. My wife's over here with her girlfriends. Well, they're back. You got everybody. Why are you complaining? Now you're complaining about that. So the question then becomes, what is it that you really want in this life? And where do you want this life to be in the next 10 years and the next 20 years for you, right? I mean, guys.
Yeah, I like what you said about, developing yourself and taking this time to really focus on things that you want to accomplish. And I think there's so much to be said for that. But we spend so much of our routine in the rats, just spending inordinate amount of time getting ready for something, driving to something, going through, pleasantries and this and that. And once you take all that out, and this really what I'm starting to realize is how much time is spent in an unproductive way, just in our daily routine. And when we really pare it down to what do I need to do, to get, my work done, take care of my personal life, communicate with my kids, whatever that is, that leaves a lot of space. So what are you doing with that space? And I love the fact that you're exploring, your spirituality and that you're really trying to keep those connections with people. I think, when I first heard the social distancing, I hated the way they worded that, and I wish they wouldn't worded it that way.
Yeah,
I wish they would have said physical distancing, because we shouldn't be socially distancing ourselves from each other. We should still be having these kind of conversations and still, talking to each other even more than ever, because that is part of who we are as humans, is that, that social connection. So I think there's a weird connotation with social distancing, and that's not what I really think it is. I think it really is a physical distancing, which is fine.
Good point.
I think that's so important. And I you mentioned kids, and my kids are with my ex, so I don't get to see them right now, unfortunately. So I'm spending a lot of FaceTime with them and whatnot. But I want to give a shout out to my 12-year-old who yesterday did her first standing backflip, which is the skill she wanted to acquire. See? Even as a 12-year-old, she knew that during this time, I'm going to learn a new skill. I'm going to do something I've never done. Yeah. So every day she sends me videos of her falling down. And yesterday she sent one of her completing her first standing back. So super proud. And if she sees this, congratulations.
Awesome. Congrats to her. And Jen, do you want to talk a little bit more about what you're doing daily in your home?
I have kids, they're with me, so that, is a struggle with them homeschooling. It's been a new process for all of us. However, it's going well. I'm lucky to live in a neighborhood with a lot of children, so they're having a ball. What can I say? They're running around, they're outdoors, they're, embracing being outside. The weather's been absolutely gorgeous. So for them, they are getting out, and, we're trying to keep everyone spread out, but being outside is, where to be right now. My Zoom videos are going great. I have about 6 per week. And we're about to launch Power 50 on Saturday. So please let me know if you want that link.
We need to put that out there. I think after the show, Jen, you need to put that link on everything, because everybody has nothing but time to do your videos at this time.
Exactly. Yes. And yeah, so I have 6 total throughout the week.
Yay.
Meditation, I've really grown into my meditation even more. So like you said, the spirituality. And I did want to say one thing, because I think you'll be proud of me for saying this. I learned in church.
What?
This is a
There's my
time.
girl. She's going to church now. You're ahead of me.
Can you believe? But this is a time that we need to feel or think about what we can do for others. What can we do to make other people's lives better? So instead of projecting it on ourselves like me, what can we do to help people feel better,
Yeah.
to grow, to learn, to embrace during this time? And I think if we take that giving approach to give, and let that be our focus.
That is so true. That is so true. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial, because I'm trying to figure this out. This is the first time I'm going to do things on schedule. So it's 10:15. We're going to take a quick commercial, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Turn on your glam today. The Jenna Klein collection is here, elaborated with natural products. Give yourself a compliment with our organic lip glosses in more than 15 shades. With the Jenna Klein lip gloss collection, you can hydrate your lips and keep that glamorous look that you need. Turn on your glam. Visit jennaklein.com. And don't forget our skincare collection with natural ingredients that will improve the skin's appearance and prevent visible signs of aging. We have everything you need to achieve smooth and vitalized skin. jennaklein.com. Turn on your glam today.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
The best way to protect yourself from 2019 novel coronavirus is to avoid being exposed to the virus. Additionally, there are preventative actions that you can take to protect yourself and your family from the spread of respiratory viruses that can make you sick. These include stay home if you're sick, cover your cough, and wash your hands.
Cupcakes and Bubbles, located at 26400 Kirkendall Road in Tomball, Texas. Cupcakes and Bubbles has the sweetest and most delicious cupcakes for the entire family. From chocolate raspberry, strawberry rhubars, cookies and cream, and the most popular among kids, the s'mores cupcake. Come and enjoy our cupcakes with a glass of your favorite bubbles. Visit www.cupcakesandbubbles.com for the complete list of our delicious cupcakes. Order online through our webpage. DoorDash and Uber Eats is available too. Enjoy life's sweetest moments with Cupcakes and Bubbles.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jay Butler, Deputy Director for Infectious Diseases at CDC. I'd like to talk to you about the new virus that causes the disease COVID-19. Older adults and people who have severe chronic medical conditions like heart, lung, or kidney disease or diabetes may be at higher risk for severe illness from COVID-19. If you are one of the people at increased risk for serious COVID-19 illness, it's especially important for you to take action to reduce the risk of getting COVID-19 now. The first thing you can do is take care of your own health. Wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol if soap and water are not available. Cover your coughs or sneezes with a tissue, or cough or sneeze into your elbow, not your hands. Avoid contact with people who are sick. Clean and disinfect surfaces in your home, such as counters, tabletops, and doorknobs to remove germs. Use household cleaning sprays or wipes according to the label instructions. The next thing you can do is make a plan for what to do if you do get sick. Know who will take care of you if your caregiver gets sick. Talk to your healthcare provider about getting extra necessary medications to have on hand. Get enough supplies, too, including enough household items and groceries so you can stay home for a few weeks if you have to. The third thing you can do is pay attention to what's happening locally. If COVID-19 is spreading in your community, stay home as much as possible and avoid crowds. If you get sick with fever, cough, or shortness of breath, call your healthcare provider. If you develop warning signs, such as difficulty breathing, persistent pain or pressure in your chest, confusion, or blueness of the lips or face, these may be signs of serious illness. Call 911. For more information and the latest resources, please visit cdc.gov/COVID-19 or call 1-800-CDC-INFO. That's 1-800-232-4636.
It started as a dream. When I was a little kid, I always wanted to have my own restaurant. And it was a dream that finally we had the opportunity to build it here in the Woodlands. And I'm so happy with it.
It's a really authentic Italian food. I try to maintain the most original possible. It's very important. Every day I make my fresh pasta.
Chi mangia bene, mangia
italiano.
italiano. Please come and visit us.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Okay, welcome back. Welcome back to the show. Yes, it's Friday, and I know everyone's been at home and doing their part. Again, if you didn't hear me the first time, I wanted to come on the show because I had been hearing different things, like everyone, in the media, social media, about how people were just, trying to adjust. And rightfully so, I understand it's been a major change. Don't get me wrong. But the only way we're going to get ahead of it is to not feel pity for ourselves, but to stay strong, to get focused. And as if we do that individually and each of us do our part, to collectively, we will make change.
That's right.
And so I have both Jason on and Ben to kind of help talk through what they're doing so we can relate to you out there. And as a voice going forward on Fridays, we're going to tune in with you so that we can be an outlet for you guys, and maybe we all can share tips and collectively do some changes. So Jen, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, great. Well, some of the things I'm doing at Day Shape and at home are the Zoom videos, trying to keep my clients engaged in a fitness routine, keeping that going for them.
Sure.
Yoga, Pilates, Power 50 starting. So, to keep, like you said, to touch on what you said, keep things as normal as possible, keep your routine alive. Maybe you want to start a new workout routine. And yes, absolutely. Another big thing for singles is the virtual dating. So obviously I'm not setting up live dates right now, but you can do the virtual dating. And I know a lot of people that have done it. I know some that are hesitant. Some of my clients are hesitant. However, I think as time goes on, we will have more desire to interact. And if that's, our choice right now, then, I think people will open up to it. But it is a great way.
So how would that work for someone? So if someone's like, oh my God, this is music to my ears out there. I'm sitting here staring at a wall. They want to call you. How would that work?
Absolutely. So it can be initiated on their own. I mean, I want people to do what they need, right? If I can help in setting it up, I'm game. I would match them with someone I had experience with, though. It wouldn't be someone new that I just recruited and never met. If I was going to set up a virtual date for you, and I have, it's already with an established relationship and connection.
Which is very important.
Absolutely. And that's always my guarantee to my singles. You're meeting someone I've met and I know personally. So yeah, the virtual dates are great. I've set up a couple, and I know, people, friends, clients that have set their own up, and that's great. I think there's some tips if I do have a minute. Okay.
I'll give you 1 minute, ma'am.
Okay.
I'll give you 2.
See.
Go
Okay.
ahead. Go ahead.
So
Go
real
ahead.
quick, if you're going to do the virtual dates, keep in mind this doesn't have to be like, oh my gosh, I want to marry this person. It can just be for fun and making a connection, right? But there are some techniques. You want to have lighting, it should be bright. You want to be presentable. You're on a date. It may not be, it's a virtual date, but you want to look good. At least have a cute shirt on, right? Waist down, all right, who cares? But you do want to look your best. You want to present yourself well. The lighting is important. And then, placement of your phone, where you have, the phone, the camera is very important too. And that does, help to ensure a positive date.
Okay.
Again, have fun with it.
Yeah.
It's what we have right now. It's what we can do. I'm happy to help set that up. Or if you want tips, I can help with that too.
Okay. And I'm going to switch it over to Jason. I want to come back to you in a minute and talk about some of the things that you said people have done and what their stories have been like. Give some testimony. So Jason, let's now switch kind of back to the married life.
Sure.
And as I said, I heard on the news, people are fighting and going. I mean,
how do we stay in sync, right?
What'd you say?
How do we stay in sync?
Obviously there's times where you're probably, upset or not, but I mean, give some tips out there to people that are going through what you're going through.
So obviously we have a lot more FaceTime with each other than usual. It's 8-9 hours a day when I'm not out of the house that I'm here now. So how do we, make it to where I don't drive her crazy? She doesn't drive me crazy. I think a lot of it's just being unselfish, making sure that you're looking out for the other person and seeing if there's anything that they need help with, anything that you can do to, make their situation easier, because this is a very stressful time for everyone, whether you feel it or not. This is a very stressful event that's happening. And we talked a little bit about it yesterday, how it kind of compared to 9/11 for a lot of it. And that's really the only other thing probably so far in my lifetime that will be in the history books. You know what I mean? So so it is. There's a lot of change going on for a lot of us. So for us, we try and do a lot of the things we always used to do, whether it's date nights. We order in from Tris. Shout out Chef.
Yay, Chef Austin. You can't go wrong with Tris.
Yeah, and a lot of our local restaurants that we used to go to they're still open. We just have to bring it back here, and that's really not that big a deal, and we kind of enjoy it actually. So we've been doing that. We've been doing these little home projects together. Then we also still work out together. I have a small home gym. It's not anything like Gold's or anything like that, but it's enough. But then we also will do things separate of each other. And I know for her, she's going on a walk here in a little while, and she'll be gone for a while. So we are spending some time apart as well. So it gives us a chance to really kind of center ourselves and focus just inwardly. And then we both, something we had a good habit of before we even got into this was self-development. We really take time to spend a lot of time studying, spend a lot of time really trying to develop our own happiness. And then, when you're happy as a person from accomplishing these things and checking boxes like we both are, then it tends to make the other person happy to see you happy. You know what I mean? So we're not actively setting out trying to influence the other in any way, but really still focusing on improving our own situation, and then that helps the other person feel more comfortable as well.
Yeah, and wouldn't you say that if you think about what you just said and how beautiful that sounds, you probably, if everything would have been the way it was and we didn't have this epidemic, you wouldn't have necessarily taken the time, the pictures on the wall right away, or to really think about, I've got to respect her space. It's giving you that to come back, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
there's a lot of perspective.
Readjust, reset.
You bet, absolutely. And that's on a very local scale for us here in the house, and then right around us we have our community, our neighbors and whatnot.
Sure.
We're seeing so much more of these people than we ever have, because we have a dog and he likes to go for walks, so we take him out 2-3 times a day and go on these long meandering walks. It used to be, okay, let's get him out, go to the bathroom, get back because we got stuff to do.
Nice.
Now we'll stay out as long as we're comfortable out there.
Exactly.
We've had pretty good weather, And so we're spending a lot of time outdoors, and our neighbors are doing the same thing. So we're kind of becoming more of a community than we probably ever would have as well. You know, before that, it was mostly our gym friends and work friends, and you know, that was who we spent our time with. But now we're, you know, having to kind of branch out and try other things, and it's been good for both of us.
Sounds great. So Jen, back to you.
Okay. About dating?
Whatever you want to tell us.
Whatever. Okay. Well, you know, my whole shtick is meditating, right? And going inside. And you just touched on it, you know, going inside and feeling good and being positive. And for me, you know, meditating is longer than most people are comfortable doing. However, you can meditate a minute, even just 2. But maybe, you know, now is a time that you can go inside and you know, face what you're feeling. And the self-awareness is such a huge aspect in any relationship, you know, married or single, you know, dating, to have self-awareness and be in the moment and embrace where we are today. It's hard. But if you take that opportunity, even breathe and relax, I think everyone, if they could just close their eyes for 1 minute, go inside, and it doesn't even have to be about a mantra. It can just be literally like calming yourselves down, right? I think it would provide so much focus and ability to be kind to each other and to slow down, right?
And I think if we challenge ourselves individually, you know, to take 30 minutes of your day and say, I'm going to challenge myself. I'm going to get up, you know. So for some people, it's a challenge to get up out of bed and to be positive. So take these moments, challenge yourself, get up. I'm going to keep a schedule. I'm going to get up and work out. I'm going to pray. I'm going to go and today I'm going to look through the menus. I'm going to see what great meal I can make. I'm going to be creative. I'm going to challenge myself to start I want to learn a new foreign language. I'm going to sign up online for a new class. You know, things like that. But I think we should take a commercial break. So we'll be right back.
Turn on your glam today. The KNLY collection is here, elaborated with natural products. Give yourself a compliment with our organic lip glosses in more than 15 shades. With the KNLY lip gloss collection, you can hydrate your lips and keep that glamorous look that you need. Turn on your glam. Visit KNLY.com. And don't forget our skincare collection with natural ingredients that will improve the skin's appearance and prevent visible signs of aging. We have everything you need to achieve smooth and vitalized skin. KNLY.com. Turn on your glam today.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
It started as a dream. When I was a little kid, I always wanted to have my own restaurant. And it was a dream that finally we had the opportunity to build it here in the Woodlands. And I'm so happy with it.
It's a really authentic Italian food. I try to maintain the most original possible. It's very important. Every day I make my fresh pasta.
Chi mangia bene, mangia italiano. Please come and visit us.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
The best way to protect yourself from 2019 novel coronavirus is to avoid being exposed to the virus. Additionally, there are preventative actions that you can take to protect yourself and your family from the spread of respiratory viruses that can make you sick. These include stay home if you're sick, cover your cough, and wash your hands.
Cupcakes and Bubbles, located at 26400 Kirkendall Road in Tomball, Texas. Cupcakes and Bubbles has the sweetest and most delicious cupcakes for the entire family. From chocolate raspberry, strawberry rhubars, cookies and cream, and the most popular among kids, the s'mores cupcake. Come and enjoy our cupcakes with a glass of your favorite bubbles. Visit www.cupcakesandbubbles.com for the complete list of our delicious cupcakes. Order online through our webpage. DoorDash and Uber Eats is available too. Enjoy life's sweetest moments with Cupcakes and Bubbles.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Welcome back. Yeah, so I got cut off earlier. So obviously we're on a scheduled time, and I'm not used to that. So Cash isn't used to a schedule. Anyway, so welcome back, everyone. We are here. We are here with you. We know we're all in this together. We're being positive. We are actually getting stronger. The stories we're hearing today from Jason and Jen are tips and myself about how we can be positive, what we can do with this time that we have to make ourselves better individually. So collectively, we can be stronger. So Jason, you said you had a couple of other little stories you want to tell us. Go ahead. Yeah.
So, you know, most of us now have been somewhat quarantined for 2 to 3 weeks, right? And something about the term 3 weeks kind of piqued my interest in that's how long it takes to create a new habit, correct? It takes about 3 weeks of any established activity to really create a habit. So really take a look at what you've done these last 2 to 3 weeks and start picking out any new habits you are starting to develop, whether good or bad, and then start addressing those. You know, I gave a lot of our clients, you know, a pretty long leash the first week. You know, just relax. This is a stressful time for everybody. Kind of do your own thing, and then we'll reassess next week. And as of the second week, people are kind of starting to settle in and starting to kind of get their workouts in again, starting to get their food, you know, back on point again. And then they know that by tomorrow, being kind of the third week for most of them, we're back on. You know, you're back in 100%, no excuses. You know, you've had time to figure it out. Now we got to make a run for it. But I don't want everybody to feel like that kind of has to be them. But if you know, like, you don't feel bad if you haven't accomplished anything in 3 weeks. You've got another 3 weeks coming. So now, you know, make that decision to start creating good habits from here. One of those that we addressed, my wife and I yesterday, was budgeting and finances. You know, how often do you sit down and really take a look at everything that you're spending and you know, where's all your money going? And especially for folks that maybe are out of work right now. And I'm sure that's a very, very big stressor in a lot of people's lives is income at this point. So even if that's not an issue, now is a good time to really get in to your finances and have those talks. You've got plenty of time to do it and address some of the frivolous spending or whatever it may be, and really try and take control of that area. And you'll find that, you know, once you have a handle on that, the marriage dynamic, if you have a handle on finances, it's hard to be upset about pretty much anything else. That's an important one. And for us, I handle most of our bills and all that kind of stuff. So I want her to know, like, where we're at. You know, this is where we are. This is what we spend. This is what we make. You know, so she has an idea, because otherwise she's kind of in the dark and, you know, at Nordstrom every day hanging out, and we don't want that when we go back, right? So no, we are.
You want her at me? Which one? What do you want her? You know?
And so much of what we've talked about has been about physical health and mental health, but, you know, getting your finances straight and really taking control of your budget is a really big, you know, stress reliever as a couple. So take this time to do that. You know, have those hard conversations and do it.
Jason, I cannot thank you enough for what you're talking about. Yes, I know this is stressful, and I am not negating that at all. But what I am saying is, when you are put in a stressful situation, what are you going to do? Are you going to put your head down and cry and whimper, or are you going to pull yourself out?
Right.
You can't give in. You cannot give in. There is so much going on, and there's, you know, we talk about our community, both the Woodlands and Houston and around the world, that we're so charitable, we're so giving. Well, okay. Now it's time to give internally into your home lives. Now it's time to give to yourself so that you can make yourself better. Whatever it is, you always say, I don't have time, I can't do this. You've got time. Get yourself in order. You know, spiritually, I have a way of saying, I think God is telling the world, get together, everyone. I'm pulling you. You've got an opportunity to get everything in order, because now's the time before it's too late.
You bet.
That's the way you got to look at it. Before it's too late. What does too late really mean? Who knows? We don't know.
No, we don't. You know,
so go ahead. I'm sorry. Go, Jason. Whoever.
No, Jen, please go ahead.
Well, I mean, I'm going to take your lead with doing things to better yourself. And for me, that would be, you know, the fitness. Maybe it's now the opportunity for someone to start a fitness program.
You bet.
And if, you know, activity or, you know, this isn't your thing, we can do the meditation. We can go inside So, you know, my Zoom videos, like I said, I have 6 a week, and I'd love to, we'll share that at the end, how to get a hold of that. But now's the time to improve yourself and go inside and to face, you know, what it is you want, you need, and be self-aware. Because that truly is, when you understand yourself, like you just said, Jason, like when you feel good inside, it's going to come out, right? So let's take this opportunity to go inside and to feel better about who we are and what we're doing with our lives as individuals, be it single or married, right?
Yes, absolutely.
You were going to say something, Jason? Go ahead.
Yeah. You know,
Great point,
I hadn't really touched on the fitness part of it at all, but one thing that is really helping, you know, me get through it personally, just on a personal level, is, you know, I don't have access to the weights that I usually use. So I'm taking the opportunity to fine tune some other parts, whether it's, you know, stretching, whether it's my breathing, really, you know, making sure I'm controlling my breathing throughout more hip type activities, more explosive type things. And I tell you what, you know, I may not come out of this quarantine stronger than when I went in, but I'm going to be a lot healthier. And
well,
then
maybe physically, but spiritually you will.
Yeah, I'm going to be
you will.
so much better shape all around that when I do go back to lifting, I expect to see a big leap forward and improvement because of all the work that I'm doing in the meantime to kind of improve on the areas that maybe I put off when I do have my lifting schedule in place. So doing a lot of yoga. I was telling her on our walk this morning, last night, I learned like moon salutations, and I was doing those over and over. You know, just I'm not only doing yoga class, but I'm trying to learn it, you know, at the same time. I'm really getting into it. And it may not be that, you know, and FaceTime with our clients, going through their workouts with them, and really just trying to, you know, keep some sense of normalcy, but at the same time, really not being afraid to branch out and do stuff that I don't usually do, and enjoying it, and really trying to see the other side of the coin. You know, I'm not going to try CrossFit or anything, but I'm branching out.
No, that's great. And I challenge everyone out there, everyone who's listening, and viewers and listeners, to decide to take on something new, whether it be new internally. I'm going to fix something that's I've been dealing with as a child, something I've been dealing with for the last 2 years, something I want to learn, something I want to read, something I want to, whatever it is, and start little by little each day. Take 30 minutes and focus on it, and little by little, and then imagine 3 weeks from now, 4 weeks, as you were saying, 6 months from now, what you will have accomplished. And whatever that is, it will be something new that adds on to who you are that you would not have done had you not been given this time. And so I keep saying, if we collectively do this, starting with individually and collectively, look what this could do. And my prayer was the last show I did, was that this will make our country better from this situation. It will. We are going to be better because we're forced to be better by this situation. And so go with it.
That's right.
So go with it. I mean, right, Jen? Go with it.
No, you should. Absolutely. And, you know, if I may, to talk about, thank you. So for my singles, how can they self-reflect and become self-aware? I encourage singles to think about the must-haves. I always preach the must-haves, right? Yeah. This is a really good time to go inside and really decide what it is you need in a relationship. Like Jason, it sounds like you have such a great relationship with your wife. I love hearing that. It's wonderful. And if you have any friends, I would like to set them up.
You got it.
Good men run in packs. But yes, take this time, singles, to think about your must-haves. And we can have those conversations now, get that ball rolling, so that when dating resumes, although we can do the virtual dating now, but anyway, you'll be ready, you'll know. And
if they want to reach out to you for the virtual dates, we've got about a minute before commercial. Okay. How do they get a hold of you?
The Champion Connection at Gmail.
Okay.
For Date Shape jhouston@gmail.
So they can reach you that way.
Yeah,
And then,
G, Facebook,
okay.
Champion Connection.
Sounds great. Sounds great. We're about to take a commercial in a minute. I'm trying to stay on cue. I see the clock. It's 10:44, but I think we have about a minute. But no, those are some great points. I mean, at the end of the day, the whole idea here is to obviously self-reflect. You've been forced to do it. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with the time that's been given to you is the question you have to ask. And if you come out of this and didn't do anything better, shame on you. I think it's commercial time, so let's take a commercial break. Let's see if it goes to commercial. I love it. Where's our music? It's supposed to be a commercial. I want to start dancing. It's 10:45. Anyway, going forward, one of the things I want to do is if you have any comments or questions that you want to have us talk about, or stories that are happening out there. I heard people making masks at home for doctors and stuff, all these amazing things that people are doing out there in spite of what we're going through. I want to hear about it, and we want to talk about it and, bring you in on the call or whatever going forward. So, Carlos, are we taking a commercial break? I don't know. Oh, my hair. I have a cue. I have to pull my hair.
There we go.
It started as a dream. When I was a little kid, I always wanted to have my own restaurant. And it was a dream that finally we had the opportunity to build it here in the Woodlands. And I'm so happy with it.
It's a really authentic Italian food. I try to maintain the most original possible. It's very important. Every day I make my fresh pasta.
Chi mangia bene, mangia italiano. Please come and visit us.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
The best way to protect yourself from 2019 novel coronavirus is to avoid being exposed to the virus. Additionally, there are preventative actions that you can take to protect yourself and your family from the spread of respiratory viruses that can make you sick. These include stay home if you're sick, cover your cough, and wash your hands.
Turn on your glam today. The Jenna Klein collection is here, elaborated with natural products. Give yourself a compliment with our organic lip glosses in more than 15 shades. With the Jenna Klein lip gloss collection, you can hydrate your lips and keep that glamorous look that you need. Turn on your glam. Visit jennaklein.com. And don't forget our skincare collection with natural ingredients that will improve the skin's appearance and prevent visible signs of aging. We have everything you need to achieve smooth and vitalized skin. jennaklein.com. Turn on your glam today.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY
Cupcakes and Bubbles,
91.1
located at 26400 Kirkendall Road in Tomball, Texas. Cupcakes and Bubbles has the sweetest and most delicious cupcakes for the entire family. From chocolate raspberry, strawberry rhubars, cookies and cream, and the most popular among kids, the s'mores cupcake. Come and enjoy our cupcakes with a glass of your favorite bubbles. Visit www.cupcakesandbubbles.com for the complete list of our delicious cupcakes. Order online through our webpage. DoorDash and Uber Eats is available too. Enjoy life's sweetest moments with Cupcakes and Bubbles.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jay Butler, Deputy Director for Infectious Diseases at CDC. I'd like to talk to you about the new virus that causes the disease COVID-19. Older adults and people who have severe chronic medical conditions like heart, lung, or kidney disease or diabetes may be at higher risk for severe illness from COVID-19. If you are one of the people at increased risk for serious COVID-19 illness, it's especially important for you to take action to reduce the risk of getting COVID-19 now. The first thing you can do is take care of your own health. Wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol if soap and water are not available. Cover your coughs or sneezes with a tissue, or cough or sneeze into your elbow, not your hands. Avoid contact with people who are sick. Clean and disinfect surfaces in your home, such as counters, tabletops, and doorknobs to remove germs. Use household cleaning sprays or wipes according to the label instructions. The next thing you can do is make a plan for what to do if you do get sick. Know who will take care of you if your caregiver gets sick. Talk to your healthcare provider about getting extra necessary medications to have on hand. Get enough supplies too, including enough household items and groceries so you can stay home for a few weeks if you have to. The third thing you can do is pay attention to what's happening locally. If COVID-19 is spreading in your community, stay home as much as possible and avoid crowds. If you get sick with fever, cough, or shortness of breath, call your healthcare provider. If you develop warning signs, such as difficulty breathing, persistent pain or pressure in your chest, confusion, or blueness of the lips or face, these may be signs of serious illness. Call 911. For more information and the latest resources, please visit cdc.gov/COVID-19 or call 1-800-CDC-INFO. That's 1-800-232-4636.
Well, welcome back. Welcome back to the show. It is Friday, and we are trying. Jason helped Jen, a champion from Dave Shape, and myself. We're here kind of trying to tell everyone we know what we're going through, but let's make the best out of this and use this time to better ourselves and to better everyone around us. And we're kind of sharing some tips on that, giving some stories. We've got a few minutes. So Jen, you wanted to kind of give us some stuff real quick, and then we'll turn it over to Jason. Yeah.
Okay, so if you are interested in having a virtual date, I'm more than happy to set that up, just to make sure everyone knows you're going to be set up with someone I have already met, that I have a relationship with. It would not be, a stranger. So that is an option. I know people are on apps and they're very popular right now, and that's great. I mean, if that's where you feel comfortable and you're, meeting people there, wonderful. You may want to consider the virtual dates with the connection you've made. And if you do, some ideas, I think I can throw out some ideas for people.
Yep.
Maybe taking a virtual tour of a museum, or going on a walk together, like having your phone and going out and getting outside and doing that together. Coffee in the morning is a nice way to meet someone, have that virtual time together. And then obviously, if you're comfortable, a dinner date is another opportunity.
You mean on the phone, having dinner together?
Yeah, you set it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and that's what I was talking about with camera placement. Go a little high. We don't want to be down looking up. We want our camera up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I think those are great opportunities, like you said, for people. Actually, it's probably less stressful. It's a very nice, easy way for people to kind of just softly get to know someone on a very virtual level, if you will, and then you pick it up from there. I think it's great. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say I had a client. He was really cute. He's like, it's the cheapest date I've ever had.
Exactly.
I mean,
So reach out to you directly for that. Correct. And we're running out of time. Jason, you wanted to tell a story. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
So we did go to the emergency room during our quarantine. We started having a lot of the symptoms that were listed, for COVID-19.
Okay.
And because of her autoimmune disorder, I told her, be proactive. If you start noticing you're having the symptoms, I'd much rather go early than go late. And so for people that are compromised or the older folks out there that are listening, really be prepared for that. And it's better to err on the side of caution with this one. And so be ready, be prepared. One thing that I did is, we had a bag packed with one night's clothes ready to go just in case. And when we went to the emergency room, they separated us immediately. And they took her back and did not let me go back. So know that going in, that if one of you is suffering from symptoms, chances are you'll be separated and taken away. And if they were deciding whether to admit her or not to the hospital, at that point she would have been taken directly to the hospital, and I wouldn't have been able to go. So
be prepared.
Know that
Don't-
going in. If
yeah.
you have a loved one or a partner, whoever it is that is sick or getting sick, the chances are that you will not be able to stay with them. So prepare for that and be ready to support them in that way, because that is what happens. And you can't go visit them at the hospital, and they will be there alone, and they will be sad, and they will cry, and that's what you have to look forward to. So be prepared for that. That's something I haven't really heard anybody talk about yet, is how to handle, a loved one going into the hospital with this illness. So that's what you have to look forward to. Okay.
Thank you. And Jen, what's your site again? So, okay, virtual dates. All you singles out there, call Jen for a virtual date. And how do they reach you?
They're going to reach me by going to the Champion Connection at gmail.com email, or thechampionconnection.com.
Okay.
DateShapeHouston.com for my Zoom videos. I'd be more than happy to, share my classes with Jason. Sounds like you're getting into yoga. I have stretch class on Sunday at 8:30. I'm sending you a link.
Whoa.
If we want to end with something funny.
Yes.
So I can't pretend people aren't on the dating apps. You're on the dating apps, whatever. Anyway, a funny pickup line for singles. Okay, you ready, Jason?
I'm ready.
Since all the public libraries are closed, I'm checking you out instead. or here's one.
Oh, okay.
I really can't stay. Or you can't spell virus without you and I.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
One
like
more. Baby, do you need TP? Because I can be your Prince Charmin.
Well, you know
I like
what?
it.
I'm curious who those are going to work on. But
It's worth a shot.
Hey.
worth a shot.
Be creative, right?
For those singles out there, it's worth a shot. Okay. Well, we had a great show. I mean, I know I'm supposed to pull my hair. This is my cue. We had a great show today. Thank you. We'll be back next Friday, and we encourage everyone to kind of send us some comments, reach out to us directly so that we can kind of bring your comments in on our discussions and all that kind of good stuff. Anything else?
Be a giver.
Be a giver.
That's right. Call your
All right, that's a wrap, guys.